Hey friends, it is Michelle with Garden Jargon. It is Throwback Thursday. I am Garden Jargon. I have a YouTube channel here in the Chicagoland area, and I have some videos that are set in a little bank that are from 2 years ago or a year ago that I had on an old YouTube channel that I just ported over to this Garden Jargon YouTube channel, and I want to share them with you. But there's about 40 of them and I can't do them all at one time. So I'm just going to pipe them in on Thursdays and call it Throwback Thursdays. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back to my channel, thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. If you have not yet already, please consider subscribing to my channel because it's the best way that you can very easily support my channel. Sharing my videos is important too. If you know anybody that's a gardener that might like the tips that I'm sharing, I'd love for you to share that with your friends. So thank you very much for watching. Please sit tight to this new edition that you'll see this little intro video every Thursday, and welcome to Throwback Thursdays. Enjoy, guys. Hello, it's Friday, April 23rd, nope, 24th. I wanted to share with you a video about seed starting tomatoes and about stepping up tomatoes in the next stage of their growing indoors. I learned this technique on YouTube this past year. I did not know this technique last seed starting season. I wish I would have known it. I watched Jessica do this on Roots and Refuge Farm, so I decided to do it. And something about this is it's saving me money on seed cell trays and things that I cannot cluster grow. I can use my seed starting trays, my 72 cell seed starting trays for that. But I want to show you some of the containers that I've used this year. I've used a strawberry container tray. This was for strawberries or lettuce, I can't remember. But this was full of seed starting mix, which is peat, perlite, and vermiculite, equal parts of all three of them. There's holes already in the bottom, and then I sprinkled the seeds over the top, and they germinated, and now they have their true leaves, and that's why I'm transplanting them. You can see a couple of them left in there. I have the other ones right here in my container on the table that have the root ball system on them, that I'm separating individually and putting them into solo cups. I have already got a bunch in the tray behind me. See, that's a little tomato baby right there. So what I do is take a solo cup, write what the variety is on there. Make sure you have your holes in the bottom so you can bottom water feed it. I put a little bit of soil in there. Now the soil that I'm using in the solo cups, this is potting mix. It has more nutrients in it. And now you can start feeding these once after you step them up. So I put about this much soil in my cup. I stick my finger down the center to make a hole. I take one of these little seedlings. It's got its true leaves, which is the second set of leaves. The first set of leaves that comes off of a sprout like this is the seed leaf, and then the true leaf comes out. Also want to show you something that I learned last year. Take a look at the stem of this tomato. Let me get it to focus in. Can you see all the furry furs on the side of this? That is roots. I did not know that that's what that was. I thought it was just like insulation. But that's root system. So tomato plants this size, you can bury them all the way up to the leaves, because all of these little fuzzies that are on the stem will grow out into roots and grab hold of the dirt and encourage growth for root system in there. And the stronger the root system, the stronger your plant will be. So I take that root ball at the bottom, I stick it down in that hole, press it in there nice and firm. Then I stick my hand. Where'd my other glove go? Ah, probably ripped. So I take my hand, I stick it in there, and I protect the plant. So now the plant is underneath my hand, touching my palm. I'm going to take a little bit of this dirt and stick it in there, shake it a bit, and I'm going to turn it around grab the plant, push it back towards me so I can put a little bit more dirt in there like that. And then I'm going to push it down around the plant. All you need to have sticking up is the sets of those leaves, because what's going to happen, being so deep in the cup, under the grow lights, the tomato is going to continue to grow. And once the tomato leaves get to the top of the cup, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my hand in, I'll pull the plant towards me, put a little bit more dirt, turn it, pull it back, put some more dirt down in there, and I'm going to bury the stem all the way until the top. So right now, that tomato is in there. He's pretty snug, and I've got him. You can't even see any of the stem because I've buried his entire 3-inch stem underneath all that dirt. And then I'll put it in a tray, and then I will water it. Another container that I've used for growing is a Folgers cup, Folgers container for coffee. And in here I have planted large red cherry tomatoes. This seed packet came from the dollar store. I dumped the entire packet in here, and as you can see, we have quite a few tomatoes in there. There's probably 30 plants in here. These are all cherry tomatoes. So I'm going to do the same exact thing with all of these cherry tomatoes. I'm going to step them up into solo cups. And then this growing container has a variety by Burpee called the Delicious Tomato. And this is what you would get your rotisserie chicken in. But look at all those tomato babies in there. Did the same thing. Put my growing medium in there, which is peat, perlite, and vermiculite. Sprinkled the seeds on top, and this happened. I made a little chart here. It says that I planted them on 4/2. They were supposed to germinate on 4/9 or 4/12, and they definitely did. They came up super fast, and today is the 24th. And so now, because they have the true leaf, which is that 4th set of leaves, I'm going to plant them into solo cups. This is the first leaf that came out. This is the seed leaf. As you can see, it's not jagged or anything like a tomato leaf. See it? Then the true leaves come out, which look like tomato leaves. This actually has almost 6 leaves on there. But that's when they're safe to bury. And again, you can see the stems on there, how they're fuzzy. That's all roots on the stem there. So I'm going to continue to plant these. And another little tidbit, and I'll probably share this in another video, is blinds. In the windows, when you have blinds at the bottom, there's always like 50 blinds on the set that you don't use. Those blinds you can take off. Watch a YouTube video on how to shorten your blinds. It'll give you very simple instructions on how to do so. And then I chop them up and I make them into these, and then I write on them and I use them as stabbers in my cups like that. So then when whoever buys this plant or uses this plant, puts it in the ground, they can use this stick to stick in the ground so they know what they have. So blinds work very, very well. I'm not sure how the Sharpie marker is going to go on here. I don't know if it'll fade or if it will wear off. I have no idea. But I cut a stabby side on one end and a flat on the other. But I have a whole cup. This was probably 30 blinds that I chopped up. So that was just another tidbit of information I wanted to share with you. But I wanted to show you what I did for the seeds for the tomatoes this year, because I've never tried this technique. This is new for me. So I hope it works out. I don't know. Looks like it's going pretty well. But again, the seeds starting mix is peat, vermiculite, and perlite. And then when you step them up into solo cups, you want to use a potting mix. And that is because it will have a little bit more nutrients in it. And then you are also welcome to feed them, which I do feed them with Miracle Grow. Miracle Grow right back there. It's water soluble. Use 1 little baby scoop to a gallon. I mix it with 1 baby scoop and a gallon and a half, because you don't want to use full strength in a tiny little area like this. If it was in a potting, like a big pot, I wouldn't mind, because there's 20 times the soil in there per plant in a pot. or if it was in the ground, you can use it full strength, but you can't use full strength. You have to use a diluted measurements of that fertilizer water. And that's why I have those buckets under the table. One is just regular water and one is food, Miracle Grow food. So I just use that red pitcher back there. I fill it with the Miracle Grow and then I water these. Once you get them wet for the first time on the top, after you transfer them to the solo cups, you can start bottom water feeding them, which is filling the tray up with about an inch worth of water every time they seem to dry out, and that it will feed them. But that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to share the technique that I learned off of YouTube. Make sure you use blinds as plant markers because they're cheap and you have them on your windows. And use Folger cups, Folger tubs from coffee or rotisserie chicken containers or strawberry containers for pots because they work and they're free. Well, not really free, but you don't have to buy something. And that helped me save time and space for my 72 cell seed start trays. I could use those for different things that I needed to this year. I didn't have to splurge and buy more. So I hope you have an incredible day. Stay healthy out there. I wish you well. God bless you, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.